Hey guys, this is Serath from Defection Gaming, bringing you a more in-depth look into the new god Neith. I'm sorry there's no sound on this video other than my commentary, but the sound again has been a bit corrupted during my processing of the video, and so only in the last stages where I'm putting the commentary over it did I notice that the sound was quite bad, and I'm going to try and figure out how that works so I can put out better quality videos in the future. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is about Neith and how I think she fits into Smite. First of all, let's get the big question out of the way. Is she overpowered? I don't believe so. I believe she is perfectly well balanced. She's got a decent amount of damage, but so does every physical carry. She has decent utility, which we are seeing more presently in each physical carry, such as the newer ones that have come out, such as Shibalanke. More utility than straight damage spells, but she's got quite interesting mechanics to go along with the damage that she's putting out. Lots of people have been complaining about her ultimate. I don't necessarily see this as an issue because people are waiting to get kills from it and not utilising it to be able to stop someone running away in order to get a kill. So it's not necessarily being fully utilised at the moment, but people are complaining about it because they're getting killed practically running into their Minotaur. I don't see this as a problem because you have to be seen for Neith to be able to lock onto you, so you have to be in a danger anyway, and a Thor or a Freya or someone like that, a character that can do damage over a distance, would probably be able to pick you off anyway, so it's not an overpowered spell, in my opinion, for that reason. Plus, its kill potential at the beginning is not exactly amazing because of the fact that you need to be able to kill things quickly, and you don't know how much health people have, and it's tricky to pick people off at the beginning because it's not as powerful as it is. At the end it becomes very, very easy, almost laughably easy, to kill people while they're running away. However, placing it on one of your broken weaves to get an AoE effect, or attacking people in a crowded jungle situation, is tricky. So it's not an overpowered ultimate. It does have its limitations. So let's go over her full abilities now that I've sort of got that off my chest of whether she is overpowered or not. But I do think she's probably best suited for mid lane, because she is easily able to clear creep waves quite quickly with her Spirit Arrow, which is her #1 ability, and be able to escape very well if she's ganked, and has good sustain with her Unravel, which is her #2. She presents a decent mid lane character in my opinion, but she's also very good as a physical carry in the mid lane. But in the left or right lane, I mean. But it's still pretty decent as a balance of a character, and she can be played anywhere. But I think at the moment people are using her to best effect at mid, because the other mids haven't really figured out how to deal with all her different types of crowd control abilities. But she works very well in conjunction with Sobek, as you can see here. I'm able to get quite an easy kill because Sobek's playing a support role very, very well, which is what he's supposed to be doing. Anyway, let's go over her abilities. Her passive is called Broken Weave. As you can see on the ground, that sort of little patch of cloth swirling around, the little blue-white thing next to Sobek at the moment, is the broken weave she leaves down on the ground. Now, this is a small ward that gives her map visibility for 2 minutes, and she can have an infinite amount of them, but they only spawn when enemies die, or she uses her backflip, which is her #3 ability, to drop one on the ground. Now, they give her map visibility, and they also power up her other abilities, and I'll be going over this during the video while I'm describing the abilities. Now, her Spirit Arrow, her #1, is her sort of straight line nuking ability. It's got a decent range, about the same range as Thor's Mjolnir's hammer, and it's her straight damage ability, and I upgrade this first because it's very good. It has a up to 2-second root at its maximum level, which is nice, decent, and especially dangerous in the end game. And the broken weave is this circle on the ground. As the ability hits that, the arrow will explode and do 100% of the damage. That stacks with the damage that the arrow does itself. So if you're clearing a buff camp, for instance, you can hit the whole camp with the arrow and the explosion to do 200% of that damage. The arrow goes through everything, as it says in its description. So it goes through walls and just absolutely everywhere. So it's a pretty decent ability, and it does up to 320 damage plus 80% of your physical power, which is a decent ability. It's decent damage anyway, especially early on. Combined with the root, it's pretty decent. It goes through an entire creep wave. It goes through absolutely everyone. The first target it hits, it will do 100% of the damage in the crowd control too, but every subsequent target will only have 75% of that damage. So if you hit a god first and then a couple of minions, it will do 75% of the damage to the god, to the minions, and vice versa. So you want to try and hit gods first, because you do lose a little bit of your root and a little bit of your damage time. Her Unravel is a small AoE effect ability, the same circumference as her Spirit Arrow's Broken Weave ability. It is a DPS ability which does an AoE damage up to 190 damage plus 80% of your physical power. It lowers the attack speed by 30% at all levels for 2 seconds of everything in the area, and it also heals Neith from 20 to 100 damage depending on your level, from up to 3 separate enemies. This includes creep waves. So if you have a god and 2 creep, you get the 300 healing. If you only have 2 creeps, you only get 200. If you have 2 gods and a creep, it all adds up. Any enemy target adds to the healing, which gives her very good sustain in the beginning. And it's also, truth be told, not that bad of a damaging spell, and you can clear whole creep waves with it at the end and not have to waste your Spirit Arrow. Now this ability's Broken Weave is when the AoE is over a weave, it will absorb the weave and give you more healing from 60 to 140 at max level healing. So it's actually pretty good in terms of a healing spell. You can have an infinite number of weaves and an infinite number of up to 3 people. So you can have, for example, 580 off of 2 weaves and 3 creep, which is a decent amount, which is a huge amount of health, really, in a single healing skill. And both of her first and second abilities are on a 15-second cooldown. Now, her backflip, her main escape ability, is on a 10-second cooldown, which I think they should up to about 12 seconds, because I think it's a bit easy to escape with her at the moment. But it does damage in a cone effect in front of her, and she does a backflip and flies backwards a certain amount of feet, and she hits all the objects in front of her in the cone with up to 220 damage plus 80% of your physical power, and slows them for 25%, which is a decent slow and a decent escape. It can also be very, very effective in getting into position and catching up with people. It's extremely useful in that regard, to be able to catch up with someone and then root them, which is what I tend to try and do with it. It's a strong ability, I think, very strong, and you should try and utilize it as much as you can, because it's a very good escape ability. I think it's on par with Anher's Disperse as an escape. I even think it's probably better because you get the slow out of it. But it is a very, very strong ability. I would, but I upgrade it last. I go the ultimate, then Spirit Arrow, then Unravel, then backflip, because I only use it as an escape. I don't use it as a damage dealing or a sustain. But as I said, it's very good utility. But that's how I choose to play it. I've seen lots of people use it instead of using it for escape or a get into position tool, actually as a DPS tool, because early on you can get quite high DPS out of the backflip and spirit arrow combination. And also it's very strong against a creep wave. For example, you would start the creep wave when jungling by backflipping out of it, so all the creep take the damage, and you leave a spirit a broken weave in place. You then unravel to do some more damage, and then you shoot through them with the spirit arrow, damaging them with the spirit arrow and hitting them with the damage from the broken weave. This whole thing will kill both the side creeps at any level, and it will kill the big middle guy up to about the 10-minute mark. So you can actually get really quick jungling done with Neith, incredibly quick, which is why she makes quite a strong mid, is the fact that she can completely clear a creep wave and push the enemy back onto their tower, and you can quickly run and get red buff. And it's really easy. So it's a good jungling combination. And towards the end of the game, you won't even need to use Unravel. You'll just be backflipping into a Spirit Arrow and everything will be dying. So it's pretty good. But bear in mind with that, you are using your escape mechanic. So be wary when jungling. Make sure you are not being followed. And finally, her ultimate is called World Weaver. It's on a 90-second cooldown, which isn't ungenerous. And it's a sort of charged power shot. You've already seen it, where she hunkers down, and this sort of donut circle comes out in front of her, and she's able to charge up. You see the rim of the circle sort of glowing and powering up. Well, this powers up, and you get the full effectiveness of the ability when it reaches its maximum charge, and you get a diminished amount. It says diminished amount. You don't actually see the actual percentages. Hi-Rez are being quite secretive about that. You don't get to see the actual percentages, but you get to see that. It's quite decent in terms of an enemy. You can hit anyone on the map so long as you've locked on. You cannot fire it unless you are locked on. But I could hit both Freya and Bastet now. I could hit Hades in the right lane or Hebo in the mid lane, so long as I had a view of them, which is important because so long as you have the view is where the danger is. If your opponent is running away and doesn't have the view, then you won't get it. And I think I pull out it now. As you can see, I hunker down, I can see the rim of it powering up, and then I let loose, and this does the full damage and stun duration on the target. It does from 230 to 490 damage when it hits, when it's fully charged, and it does up to 120% of your physical power. The stun is 1.1 up to 1.5 seconds, and I think this might be increased to 2 seconds. I'm not 100% sure. But I saw a Reddit post that said that people in Hi-Rez were considering increasing the stun for that, because it was viewed as it wasn't a part of the spell. People were only really considered with sniping people off when they want to encourage the use of Neith for actual damaging people, as well as sort of securing kills, which is what I think Hi-Rez has designed her to do. It's just to be a kill securer, not necessarily the one who gets every kill, but one who roots people in place, who stuns people from miles away, who makes sure the group can catch up and murder whatever's in front of her, and she's very good at that. Now, if a broken weave is hit, it does an AoE explosion about the same size as Odin's spears. And it does the full damage and the full stun to everything in that area of effect. So I've done it in a team fight and got a quadra kill from it. It was absolutely ridiculous. At level, I think I was 18 at the time, so it would have been level 4. It's just absolutely crazy what you can do with that ability when the enemy's low and you can just use it to clean up, or you can use it to have a very decent start in a team fight, because essentially you're getting a stun which is almost as big as the monkey's initiating fear, and you have a huge amount of DPS which gets up to the 800s, 900s if you focus on physical power towards the end of the game. But it's very decent. The amount of damage she can put out is strong, and I will not deny that it is strong. But it's not overbearing at all, really. If we really talk about it, it's not overbearing. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. Me and Sobek are working together, which is what you want to be doing with any physical carry. You want the support to be essentially getting you kills, and we all know that. What I think about Neith is the fact that she is so versatile in what she is able to do. She's able to run away, engage, slow, root, sustain, snipe people from the edge of the map. She's sort of like a little jack of all trades, which sort of comes across in this gameplay, I feel, because she's able to do all those things. It's now this is where you need to be careful of. See, the ultimate went over the broken weave when I was training on the Bastet, and I wasn't paying attention to where my broken weaves were, and it fired straight into the broken weave, and it was wasted. You need to be careful with that, obviously, because I've just wasted my ultimate, and I almost certainly would have got the kill on Bastet, but and there was a Hebo over in the right lane that I could have killed as well. But that's what you need to be careful of, is utilising your broken weaves is how Neith is going to be played the best. And when you utilise them properly, you will turn out to be an incredible Neith player. So be wary where they are, don't make the same mistakes, and just play to your strengths, play to sustain, play to be able to play back, so that even if you're ganked, you're able to jump away. Like for this example, I went to the tower, I leaped, and I can get back and engage. But then me and Sobek realise we're being attacked, and I try and run away but can't, and get picked off. But we didn't get a missing, and if we'd have had a missing, we wouldn't have gone into the tower anyway. So that's sort of like that death wasn't mine or Sobek's fault, and I think Sobek's going to die in a bit. But it's not. You need to keep the communication up, and in real competitive play, which is where I think she might actually turn out to be pretty good. She might be the new physical carry of choice. Because in a competitive environment, you are on constant communication with your teammates and talking with everyone. They'll be able to say, this guy's getting low, and you'll be able to say, okay, I have my ult, keep him in range. And they'll be able to keep him in range, you'll be able to snipe, not necessarily get the kill, but secure the kill for someone in right lane. When you're in left lane, and that's incredibly important. Or when you're in mid, secure a kill for left or right. But as a god, I think she's a good addition. I think she brings good CC, good damage, and above all else, she's fun. I've played her maybe 5 or 6 times, and I can genuinely say I haven't had as much fun with a new god since Ares. Because I loved playing Ares, he was my main and favourite, and I haven't really been playing him much anymore because people don't like him. He's not as viable as he once was. He still does lots of damage though. I can honestly say she is so much fun and so interesting, and I think the people to utilise her the best will have an advantage in the competitive environment, and I'm going to try and be a Neith player, because I can honestly say I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy playing Neith, and I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed my commentary. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. leave me a comment on how you think I'm doing. This is more of a God overview and what I think video, more than the gameplay, obviously. But if you want to see more live commentaries, more post commentaries like this, please feel free to let me know, and I'll try and tailor to what you guys want. But yeah, but that's how I would play Neith, in either mid or left or right lane. Try and get kills. Play more as a secure killer for your team. Don't play her more passive than overly aggressive unless you're confident of the kill. Because go for opportunities. Create opportunities with your root and your world weaver. Sorry. Create them and watch your team get so many kills. See, I sniped there, but that would have been a kill if Sobek hadn't knocked her into the air and made her immune to damage. She would have been dead. And that's another small thing. You've got to let people know that you are doing damage. And Sobek is saying sorry. But we got the kill anyway, so it didn't really bother me, because that's what you do. You create kills, you try and get an advantage, and you try and pick people off. And I think Neith will be strong in the competitive environment in doing that. But as I said, and I will keep reiterating this till I'm blue in the face, she is not overpowered. I think Hi-Rez have done a fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job in the gods of late. I mean, Hercules was a lot of fun, but he was a bit overpowered. But I think they're getting to the point where they've pretty much fixed him. He's not overly powerful anymore. He's got to be in danger now to get stunned, to bring off his pull. But anyway, it's just hats off to Hi-Rez, because this is genuinely, I think, a very well balanced god, and I don't think anything will need to be done to Neith really, to make her competitive or to make her fun, because she is both fun and competitive. I really, really like her as a god. But yes, please leave your comment and argue with me, because I will quite happily shout till I'm blue in the face about how much I enjoy playing Neith, because she is a great character, and when she stops being insta-locked, I will play her a bit more. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying Hi-Rez. I think they're making Smite an incredibly interesting and sort of involved game, more so than League, I think, because League was point-click win. I think Smite's more intense, more interesting to watch as a competitive and an esport, really, in a sort of esport way. And I think it's a fantastic game, and I do really wish Hi-Rez the best of luck. I don't expect them to be watching, and I'm not a Hi-Rez fanboy. I enjoyed Tribes and etc., but I'm not really a Hi-Rez fanboy. But I am genuinely very happy with the new god, the latest gods, and I do hope they continue on this creative and inventive skill set that they seem to be on, with the gods of late, like Shibalanke and Neith and Hercules and things. They're sort of seeing things we haven't seen before, and I think that really is what will make Smite incredibly valuable and interesting and fun to play. Is the fact that it is unique. It is a unique take on the MOBA, and very, very fun. And I really, really wish that more people would play it. And I really, really wish I was better at the game, because I understand how to play it. It's just implementation is tricky, because I don't have all the time in the world. I do have a 52-hour work week, so all sort of spare time is sort of shared between Smite and lots of other things. But I do very much enjoy the game, and I really hope that I'm able to continue play it for the foreseeable future. And here's this is another little snipe on a Hades that we chased for a while to get low, and then he retreated into his tower, get a kill, which is fine and fun, which is what we want. Fun, fun, fun. I'll go over now, as the game's winding down, what I think Neith is good at in domination and arena. I think in arena, she is pretty strong because of her escapability. So long as you don't let people flank and kill you, her big weakness is Loki, and always will be Loki, because he can just pop and kill her. Because Neith is very, very squishy. She is incredibly squishy. So you need to keep on your ball with your escape and your Aegis Amulet and speed. I would almost always get Aegis Amulet and speed because you're able to backflip and sprint away to secure a gank escape, and also Aegis Amulet because you should. In my opinion, Aegis Amulet is the competitive item at the moment, apart from on fully support role characters, because you are able to do such a lot with invulnerability for 2 seconds. But anyway, so in arena, so long as she keeps her distance and only goes in for kills when you know you're going to get them, she can get people a load of picks in arena, especially a Loki. If you team Neith up with a Loki in arena, it's absolutely crazy. The amount of times you can root and kill targets is brilliant. Domination, I think she's extremely good at holding objectives. She is the equal push potential as a Ao Kuang, I think, in terms of on a domination point. She can kill creep wave incredibly easily. She just needs to be a bit careful about when she is being attacked on a tower, but she's able to defend guardians, she's able to take guardians, and she's able to get very, very good kills. So I think she's a good character for both arena and domination, and I think she's going to remain to be. I think she's going to be popular when people have sort of figured out how to work her and use her abilities. But as I said, the true potential of Neith will only be discovered when we start realizing how to use her broken weaves, because I think Hi-Rez have done a very clever thing with the broken weaves, how her abilities scale off them, but lots of people won't pay attention to the little details, like there's a broken weave on the floor. Like, I didn't pay attention earlier and it ruined my ultimate. So you need to just pay attention, be careful, and make sure you have a secured kill, and you will do absolutely brilliantly as a Neith. And just keep using the broken weaves. Just make sure you place them right with your backflip. You abuse them with your spirit arrow and world weaves. Because honestly, world weave your ultimate and a broken weave is just a crazy skill. And when you see like 4 enemies die instantly from it, it's just absolutely incredible, and you will be so happy. And I wish I'd recorded it. But anyway, that's my overview of Neith. I think she's a strong character. She just she's very good at farming. Whatever game mode you're in, farm. Defend in domination, defend in arena, and defend in conquest, and counter-initiate for the win. Murder them and kill them, and you'll get a gold advantage and ultimately the win, like I scored here. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.